Hello and welcome to the With Laura Smith podcast. Today we are talking about a topic that is still relatively unknown, but is slowly making its way into the world. I have a special guest joining me today. Her name is Nell, and we are going to dive into a really interesting conversation around healing, the body, and the reconnecting with yourself through spinal energetics. Nell, thank you for being here. It's great to have you on. And let's start with a little introduction. Who you are, where are you based, and of course, what is your mission?
Hello, nice to see you. Nice to meet you, Laura. Thank you so much for inviting me here. My name is Nella. I'm from Czech Republic. And when I was 22, I moved to the UK where I lived like 8 years. And after that time, I've decided to travel because, I've been like in Europe. I was traveling across the Europe and I was like back then with my partner, let's see the world. Let's explore more places. So we've decided to travel. Before we moved to before we started to travel, I saw the reel on Instagram just pop up about the spinal energetics. And back then I was doing massages. So I'm like a massage therapist. And when I saw this reel, I was very intrigued, how does it work? What is this? And I felt like a calling inside me. I went to the website to check about the spinal energetics and I've realized, my gosh, this is something I would love to try. I would love to do. But back then it was all in English, obviously. And I felt like the terminology, I would not be able to understand everything, because then you go into the spine, nerves, bones. And I was like, okay, if I'll do the course, I won't be able to understand everything. So I said to myself, I will wait. I'll be practicing. And after some time, when I feel ready, I will try to apply and see if they will take me into the course. 3 years later, we started to move. We went to Asia. And over there, I was struggling with myself. I felt like actually I need to go deeper inside myself to find what is going on. Because I had some childhood traumas, I was struggling with my mental health. I didn't know what I would like to do. And these all things were stressing me out. And I decided that what if I will book a session for myself with the spinal energetics, because I read some information that this could help me, to feel overall good, to regulate my nervous system, to help me with some childhood issues or traumas or stuck emotions. And I was in Vietnam. I found one lady in Singapore and I was like, okay, I'll book a session. I will see how does it feel first. And if this will be good for me, I'll book a session for myself and then I will start the course. I booked a session. I had the first session online. Laura, I just lied on the bed, closed my eyes, and I just remember the feeling. I was like, what the hell am I doing? This, I was so skeptical. Is this going to really help me? I was scared. And also the thing, we are online. How does it work? And now I understand more my clients too, because I've been through the same situation. I was like, let's do it. I need to surround. I need to really fully open myself to let open myself to feel the experience. So I did it. Within 5 minutes, I felt inside me the energy started to move. And in my mind, I had automatically a moment when I'm doing this job on my own. It was amazing, to feel, I saw myself I'm doing this, In the same time, in the same moment, I felt the energy inside my body and I had the urge to move, to stretch, to cry. And for the first few minutes, I felt my shoulders want to move. And in my mind, I was like, no, don't move. What are you trying to do here? And then again, no, Nell, surround. It's okay. You are safe. Let it go. And after that, I said myself this. I started to move, feel. After the session, I was like, what was that? It was completely different kind of experience. we finished the session. I went on the website with the Spinal Energetics and booked a course straight away. I haven't been talking with anyone. I just went on the website and I was like, okay, if there will be some struggles with the terminology or English, I'll try the way to help to understand. I will try to use different sources for me to really understand. I felt so ready to try this and start to learn and help people, explore themselves, what the human body is capable of. That I was so motivated to really do it. And when I applied for the course, I booked sessions for myself. I booked a 7 sessions because still I felt inside me, okay, there is some things that I would like to sort out first, to go through the layers, to be able to help as much people as I can, or to have better understanding of this modality from my personal point of view. So I just wanted to, okay, if I'll go through a 6-7 sessions, then I will see also how my mind is changing, how my body and awareness is changing. So then I can, it's gonna be better for me to talk about it from my personal experience. So I went through a 6-7 sessions, and in the meantime, I was doing the course.
And I wanted to ask you that. So when you had the first session, what was the experience like? Of course, it was some movement, but how did it feel like? You said before that you had a childhood trauma, that you wanted to understand, that you wanted to heal. So how did this first session help you to release something? Did it help you to share?
What yeah. For me, I felt like this is gonna be a journey, and I knew it straight away when I closed my eyes that this is not gonna be one-time fix. How it could be, it's impossible. So I felt like this will go through the stage by stage, and I felt like the more I will be allowing myself to open up, I'll be able to go more deeper within myself. And the first thing I felt, and also my clients now are experiencing the similar or the same, I had some flashbacks of the memories from the childhood that I suppressed. And when I was in this a state, of the a calmness, I was able to revisit these memories from the childhood, but with my adult brain, with my state of being now. So I was able to help understand what was happening back then, and some things wasn't my fault, even though like a little girl I thought this is my fault, I've done something wrong. So the first session helped me to see the scenarios in my life and helped me to understand what I was doing back then. And it was just such a release for me to let go, to forgive myself. And this was my first session, and it was such a huge impact on myself and on my mental health, because I was able to revisit some childhood memories, and then I was like, oh my gosh, I understand this now. I went back with entire story. I saw it like a memory, in my brain. And I was like, wow, what happened? Because sometimes you forgot so many things and you suppress them and you don't even know this happened. And then when I finally stopped and allow myself to feel, this memory just popped out. I was like, wow, this is powerful. So yeah, that was my first session. But then second session was completely different. Third session, completely different. And I felt like I'm changing with every session. Myself, my state of being is changing, I'm being more aware and more connected to myself, and not just here in the mind, but also in my heart, in the center of my body. And then I felt like, okay, real shifts and changes are happening. And also it was about the energy. I felt like a tired before, or stuck. And after more and more sessions, I felt like a more clarity within myself, because the spinal energetics is first of all for regulation of your nervous system, to give you more clarity. And I was gaining that. And I had so many answers for everything back then, what has happened, And the forgiveness. This is like important part for me too. You know, sometimes we are blaming ourselves for some things, but this is past, you know? So really like profound experiences within 5-6 sessions. And then I was like in the middle of the course.
Well, then, since you already started, what is spinal energetics? Would you like to guide us into what actually is spinal energetics and how it can help people?
Right. Of course. It's a somatic and nervous system modality developed by Dr. Sarah Jane. She's from Australia. And the spinal energetics works with the spine. It's like as a bridge between your physical body and your energetic self and your energetic field. And spinal energetics work with stored tension patterns and unlocking emotions to restore ease within the body. So, as the name, we work with the spine, we work with the nervous system, the energetic layers of the field, the energy chakras, to like increase internal capacity and support integration and reorganization. So I would say like this is the nice explanation for people to understand. And obviously like it will create the space for your body to unwind naturally, because we don't force anything in spinal energetics, and it's not me doing this to you. We are like holding the space for you to put you back to the balance and to the ease. And we work with the people's like a innate wisdom, innate intelligence we have within our body. It's like the same, like our nails are growing or hair. So we like unlocking the intelligence inside the body that we are having inside us already, like everyone, you know? So this is like about the regulation, the nervous system. That is my like explanation.
I love that explanation. And I'm so on this with you because we carry so many stored emotions that we don't know how to deal with and we don't even know that they are there. So I absolutely love this work. But if you can tell us more about how is the process of this work? Like
Definitely.
how you perform this?
Definitely. So all of this like happens through the awareness and directed attention, you know, like not a physical contact, because I do obviously online sessions too. So first we have like when I'm starting my sessions, we have like a 10-15 minutes of like a breath work and little like awareness to drop into a space where we just like, you know, breathing together, walking, relaxing, entering ourselves to really like give body time and space. Like now is your time to finally feel or let go. If I'm having like a session in person, I do the assessment where I check the posture, the body, the spine, and with these clues, I already know what part of body I will be working on based on my knowledge that I have from spinal energetics. Because we might work in a cervical spine, or we might work in a thoracic lumbar, you know, coccyx. Like we work with the whole part. But it always depends of the assessment that we do as a practitioners. So basically I would check your body to see where is like how is your posture, how is your body. And after that there is like some breath work, some like, and then I go through the points in the spine, within the spine, to access and connect, to feel the connection, to open up, to tell your body basically now it's time to release or to let go. And when I feel the connection to pull, it's like I'm opening the doors, you know, within the spine, within your energetic field, and giving you this sign, okay, now it's time to breathe, to let go. And with every person, it's different because everyone is dealing with different things. Sometimes people are overthinking a lot. So I know like we're gonna be working here in a cervical spine, in like the upper part of the body, because the emotions can be trapped or stuck over there. So like I'm opening the connection within the field, within the chakras, you know, in like the third eye, crown chakra, thoracic, because it's all connected. So always depends with who I'm working, and it works through the intention, vibration, awareness. And also the music play a huge part to what kind of music we play, because everything is triggering your vagus nerve, like the state of being you are at that moment. And sometimes I'm even guiding people to breathe to some parts. And I would like to say that every practitioner have their own essence that they bring to a session. So with every single practitioner, you're gonna experience different things, because my approach is something that I developed, and this is how I do the sessions. And for example, if I would be working in your like a cervical spine, that I would feel some stuck emotions on blockages, I can, from my point of view, feel the pull. I can feel it like, okay, I will activate the connection within your field over here. And also sometimes, or in like most cases, is visible when the body is flat. Online or in person, we are observing the body, how you react. So we kind of know, like where to go, what part to concentrate. And it's always beautiful to witness or see when I go to activate within the spine some points, and I'm following the structure, from the spinal energetics. I see like the breath is changing, how you are breathing. And sometimes I go like to a heart space and I feel or see the breath is like stopping, and you're like, and I'm like, okay, now I feel the pull to activate and release, and the people are after like that, you feel the like, so yeah, but like with everyone it's different, because
I like
sometimes
that.
people sometimes are moving a lot, and sometimes people are still, like they go to sleep. And it's really for me important to say and mention, because people sometimes want to move and they are like, I want to move, but this is not having any impact like if you are moving or not, because the changes are happening internally, within yourself. From my experience also, people that they are a lot of in their head and they are like analytical and they can't drop that much here, they always, or most of the time of my clients, they are sleeping, because this is the state for them how to process internal changes, like their body put them on sleep for them to be able to reorganize within themselves. And when I work with the people that they work with energy, they are moving because they are like open to it, they feel. And I always like, I can tell the differences, or I know before we start the session with who am I working, so I kind of like can expect, what is going to happen. But for every single person, the experience is different. And the movement, it's not like that would be for you, yeah, I moved, so I gained these external changes, no, it's not about the movement. And I feel this is really, really like important to share, to say, because it is about the observing, supporting, and creating space, for internal regulation to take place.
What would you say, who is this for, this Spinal Energetics?
I would say this is for people that they would like to balance the nervous system, or helping with the stress, with the anxiety, to bring calmer state of being. Then also for people that they are struggling with some traumas, so we can like facilitate release, of emotion, or like a stored emotions, stored like a traumas in the spine, that we can foster the healing and the resilience. Also for people that they feel like tired or overwhelmed, or like under pressure, because this would help you again to gain more energy, bring more awareness and clarity within your body. I would say also one of the huge benefit is to improve posture, and balance. So it supports like a better alignment and body awareness. And also it's improving physical presence within your body. And for sure, for a deep relaxation, to connect, for connection with yourself. So yeah, but everyone is like experiencing different kind of benefits, depends in what kind of state they are.
Can I ask you, before you mention with your own experience when you first time tried spinal energetics, that you had emotion pop up, that you revisit some memories, not emotion, but memories. I want to ask you, what if people don't want to revisit any memories because they are too painful?
The body will show them what they are ready for to see or to feel, because it's like their body. I can't speak for them, but because I was on the edge where I really wanted to work with myself no matter what, no matter how painful this experience will be, then my body allowed me to see and process my childhood traumas, my stuck emotions. But when you are not ready, and you are like scared or suppressed, you don't want to see it yet, or you don't want to go that direction, your body won't show you this way yet. And then is the question, are you going to be ready one day or at some point, or you're gonna stay, and you're gonna be waiting for some time, or you're gonna need deeper support to speak with a psychologist, or like a therapist, because obviously, you would need specialized doctor or help, and in some cases, this is like a normal and common too, that I'm advising people to really go deeper with someone, who is like a doctor, to go much deeper within themselves. I would say always your body will reveal for what you are ready for to feel and to experience at that time, at that moment on the table, and also sometimes you need to really build the momentum. So in most cases, you go step by step, that you start to feel, to breathe. And then after 3-4 sessions, okay, Nell, I saw this, I felt this. After like 10 sessions, you are like, oh my gosh, it brought me to completely different story. And with everyone, the body is communicating differently.
It's amazing how wise is the body and what it can do. And it's never here to harm you or like to make you uncomfortable. It's always such a natural way to help you process. That's beautiful. So you would say you are suggesting people to, if they want to go deeper, obviously the one session is not enough for them.
Yeah.
If they truly want like profound healing.
100%. Like I always suggest at least 3. And also depends how everyone is processing. It's very like individual, but like every 2 weeks is like the most common in my practice. And because like imagine one session, you will just get a taste, you can get just a taste of this job. But now it also depends, what are you trying to achieve here? What is your goal? What would you like to achieve with the spinal energetics? Is it for you just to bring more energy, or feel stabilized, feel regulated, to have more clarity? Or are you having any pain, so you would like to get rid of like a physical symptoms? It's always important, what is your goal? And before I do the sessions, I have like a form that people need to fill out, so then I know with what I'm dealing with, and I can like adapt the session, and I can advise, okay, in this case, I would suggest 3-4 sessions. And then it's up to you, like if one session was enough, or you would like to have a more. And also people that they are having just one session, and I completely get that, they're like a nervous, because for example, we don't know each other, and you have such a huge expectation, and you see so many reels online, and you are like, what if I'm not going to feel anything? And these like a normal patterns that we are having, and that's why I feel the first session is always like just to break the ice, just to like feel, see, and to get used to what is going to happen, because I'm doing the sound and people are like, wow, what is going on? So I like fuel the energy. So we do like this kind of sound. Then there is a music. Then there is okay, breathe to your lower back, breathe to your upper body. And I feel with one session, the brain just like trying to figure it out, what is going on. And people are not allowing themselves fully to expound and really trust the process. So I always feel that people needs to also know me a little bit more to see how I work, how I talk. So then we build this trust together. And after more sessions, they are more able to really relax because they trust me. They trust the space. They trust themselves, which is the most important, and then they are ready to really drop into the space, and they are not that nervous or stuck.
Mm-hmm.
So then it's much easier also to work with them after the session or before. So then, I would start 3 sessions, but last thing I just want to add, so many clients or people I have, they try just the 1 session, and then they've realized, okay, this is not for me, and it could be too much for them, too intense. For example, they are processing and they are like, oh my gosh, this is not for me. Or they realized, okay, I don't feel anything, or I don't feel any changes, so probably I don't want to do that. And this is fine too, everyone is different.
I mean, I believe in this type of works, the change is always going to happen, whether you feel it or you don't feel it. Because, of course, we are either in tune in our bodies or we are not in tune with our bodies. If you're not paying attention to the change, and those can be such a small, tiny little changes that can happen. Maybe you just don't overreact. You're just more relaxed in a certain point. The things that people don't even pay attention, but I believe that change always happens. I wanted to ask you a question about you said you give people form before the session about what they want to deal with. What is the most common thing people go try the spinal energetics?
Well, in my case, it's like a self-hate, that people, they don't like themselves. They want to work on an inner love, to understand why they're acting and why they are angry, why they can't be calm. So I would say this is relationship problems and the self-awareness. They want to be more chilled, if I'll put it this way. This is again me, that I'm attracting this kind of people, how I present my work. Again, different kind of practitioner will deal with different kind of group of people or clients. But yeah, it's for me, in the most cases, the relationship issues, hurt in the past, some unresolved communication problems within themselves and partners. And a huge part of these relationship issues is communication. 90% of cases with my clients, there is a stuck communication. They are not able to express what they really feel. And I feel like this is really huge, because the communication is one of the most important part in relationships, how we talk with ourselves, how we talk with each other. And in my forms, it's always I would like to be gentle, be more gentle to myself, to my surroundings. And I would like to better understand why I am overreacting, because even in my personal experience before the sessions, I was completely a different person. But now I see when it's something that triggers me, I take a moment, and before I react or even answer, my old self would be no. But now, when I work with myself, I'm let me breathe here. I try to calm myself down, take a few breaths, and then I'm okay, this is the situation. And I deal now with the problems completely different than before, because I don't want to affect my life, our precious life. I don't want to be stuck in my past. So yeah, it completely changed my point of view with so many things.
Can you share also, if you had a client who you helped with this work, the results they get from the
Yeah.
spinal energetics?
Yeah, for sure. It's funny because I have a client, and it was a girl. No, it is the girl, and she's been struggling with this overthinking, with these communication issues and skills. She wasn't able to express herself. And once we went through some sessions. I think we had a 7 or 8 sessions. Then she started to talk, completely changed her environment, her surroundings, her friends. She even changed her job. You know, like the changes had impact even like in her life, like with the job, with the people, and even like a boyfriend messaged me, what did you do to her? Like she's completely different person. And that was funny one, because again I was like, I'm not doing like anything directly to her. You know, this is her body finally speaking. And then it was funny because then the boyfriend became my client, but the changes she experienced, it just moved her, or like in general I would say even people, it moved them from this like a stuck life to better understand their needs. So she started to understand, wow, I have to speak my truth and communicate in the job because I am unhappy over there. I don't like how my boss is talking to me. And these sessions helped her to speak, to express herself, to say, listen, I don't like this. Can we do something about it, or there is another chance? And sometimes I feel people are stuck in this bubble and they are scared. They are afraid to tell their opinion. What if I hurt them, you know? But they are suffering. Why would you suffer, you know? Just tell what is going on. And then obviously they couldn't find the reason or like the solution in the job, so she left. She found something much better, you know. Now she's happy in different work, talking, working with herself. So, and I feel this is like a never ending journey, you know. There is no end. There is definitely like no end. Like we would start the session and after 6 months you say, I'm sorted, I'm healed, everything. I know, you know, this is like lifestyle. We will be always learning and healing, and you heal some part of yourself and then okay, there is another one. So this kind of feedbacks I'm having, where people are starting new businesses or new ideas, they have like this more clarity, you know, and they finally are able to speak their truth.
How often you should have that therapy? Like it's like once a month or every week to have like the better impact?
Yeah, I would say for the first, like for the completely first time, every 2 weeks. This is like the best to keep the momentum going. There is a little break that I noticed. Sometimes it's really like a deep, so you need a time to integrate the sessions and be able to process everything that has happened internally or externally. Sometimes people need 1 month, but from me, like I will always tell or advise, you message me wherever you need or feel the calling, because this is like we are learning, you know, to you to know and feel inside you when they feel that they are ready to book another session, when they feel okay, let's do it, you know, I'm ready. But always they decide how they feel.
The intuition will call you itself. Now, if you can tell me, I know this is going to be maybe a weird question, but how people react when they see your reels or like when they see the work you do and, you know, it's all online and you do like weird things and people move differently and it's all kind of weird and people are skeptic. So how people normally react to these things?
Right. So it's always like depends what kind of audience I'm trying to attract. And in my, because I have like two Instagrams, or like, you know, Czech for Czech community and the English one for just like a English speaking only. And when I started this, like a Spinal Energetics, I was in Vietnam, and the community around me, the people, they were like a more aware of the work with the energy. They were like, they had the experiences with the energy modalities. So when I post a reel and people knew me, it wasn't like weird for them, you know, it was like quite normal that this job is working because they had some background. But when some strangers saw my reel, then I got into like reactions where they post some comments and they wanted to explain. And I also offer 15 minutes consultation for free. So I always try to advise people, okay, if it's something unclear or if you would like to know more about this modality, how does it work, let's book a 15 minutes free consultation call, and I'll do my best to explain as much as possible, as much as I can. But also, what I've noticed in my English account, it's a more digestible for people. They more understand. So usually, and because I'm sharing the work with the Spinal Energetics, the reels from my colleagues, so my community is quite used to it. They know what to expect. The huge movement on the table, reels, like people are shaking, or someone is lying flat and there is an explanation what is going on with the body. So in this case, I would say the audience understand this more. But on Czech Instagram, in the Czech community, I've noticed some unpleasant comments with this work, because I would say people are not that open-minded. And this is okay too, because I feel everyone, we are having our own pace, how we proceed and understand things. But obviously sometimes when I post a reel and people are moving, I go to that section. This is a bullshit. This can't work, and I always try to communicate with the people. Why do you think so? Do you have your own experience with this kind of work? I always try to get to the core of the problem. So in I've noticed just these differences within the Czech platform. People are more close-minded and they're having a negative comments, but I'm always there to explain, or talk about it. But when people don't understand and they don't want to understand, it's their opinion. I'm not here to change it. I know what I do. I stand behind my work, and I'm not here to force anything or anyone or change your opinion. This is your way, how you operate, how you perceive things. So I accept when they see someone moving on the reel and the person is, doing weird stuff, and I'm doing this with my hands, it can look scary, or what is it that she's doing? But it's me, what I feel, and no one else can know what I feel at that time, because this is my way, how I do things, and the energy healing, this modality. So because I know who am I and what I do, even with the negative comments, I'm not distracted by it.
Good. That's great. That's really good. Would you say there is a cultural differences? Like you said, the Czech people are reacting different, and where are you traveling? People were more open-minded. Do you think this is a culture that people are not open to certain things because of their beliefs?
Yeah, for sure. And I feel also depends what kind of people have been through, because when we are in Asia and we are talking about Bali, these practices are so common over there. It's a very usual, you go for a holiday and you have these treatments, a yoga, meditation, Reiki, Kundalini, so many sorts of healing. But in Czech Republic is not that, they are not that aware of these modalities. So I feel because the people are more open-minded over there, it's much easier to work with them. And also when I was traveling, I met so many people, and even from my side, to explain them what I do, it was much easier. People were yeah, let's do it, let's try. I want to see this kind of, wow, surprise. I want to see, I want to know how does it feel. And in Czech Republic, when I try to explain, I know and I feel I have to really go, much deeper, and I need to use more words, and I'm trying to explain it in their language as much as possible for them to understand, So this is the differences I'm noticing, because with people in Asia, I just say yeah, just a little structure. What is it? And people are oh my gosh, that's what I want to do it. And in Czech, I feel I need to work my way through.
Totally. I understand. What would you say? You mentioned Kundalini and Reiki. How is this a different approach than Reiki or Kundalini or any energetical work?
Yeah. Well, again, in my personal view, because I've tried Reiki, Kundalini, I just wanted to know how I'm feeling, what is the difference for myself. And with the Kundalini, I feel the life force energy is within your body. But for me, for my personal view, it's at that moment, I feel a burst of energy, And in my case, I sense the colors, I sense the warmness in my body. And because I'm always so open-minded to the modalities, I know that this method is helping me in whatever area in my life I need the most. And because I always trust the practitioner or the facilitator, I completely, fully unwind myself. So, for example, my sessions when I'm having the Kundalini, it is really allowing myself to stop, and I'm having this like a colorful, rainbows across my body. I feel the, I would say, trembling, these like a little twitches inside the body. And I'm just like allowing to breathe and be there at that time, at that moment. Because sometimes, again, with the integration, even with Kundalini, we need a time, when some things go to you and you're like, okay. And with the Reiki, I would say that like that's a similar for me feeling as with the Kundalini. And also I know like it depends with what kind of practitioner you are working with and how much you are allowing yourself to let go and relax. But yeah, with the Reiki and Kundalini, in my case, I feel this is like a similar
sensation.
Yeah, sensations. That's the word. Thank you.
So will you say like the spinal energetic has like a, let's say, longer and profound impact rather than like than just a Reiki or Kundalini?
Yeah, I feel like in my personal case with the spinal energetics, I can go through the layers and it's like a journey, I can feel like I'm changing with the modality and I'm feeling different kind of things and aspects in my life. And I'm like, I have different approach. Maybe it's because I'm doing this also, and I'm having my sessions for myself. But with Kundalini, I feel like I have one session per half year and that's it for me. Just to see, to realize, to sense new things, bring new awareness. And then I know, okay, let me try again after half year. What new will arise?
What would you say your personal opinion? Why would people want to connect to themselves?
And that's beautiful, actually, question, because I feel to be able to connect with yourself, then you are building this whole persona and the way how you live and perceive life and how you react. That's why I feel it's such important to know and to be able to connect with yourself because everything else follows. Learn how to be steady and still, even though there is a storm, because life is not just like a pretty flowers, everything is fine. There is like so many situations that we have to go through and they are tough and they gonna be tough. We can change the way how we look into the things and not to hurt us, to find the way that is more suitable for us to get through. So that's why, we are the lighthouse. We stay steady. Around us is a storm, but we are not like depressing ourselves for days. We know when it's time to really like, I got it. I'm not gonna stay in this state where everything is bothering me because this is just one life we are having here and it is short trip indeed, So that's why I feel the connection that we are having and we should have or try to follow is to be able to look to the mirror and be like, I know who am I know what I do. I'm sending love to others and be kind, to everyone and just inspire and be inspired.
Amen. If you would like to, we can wrap up. And if you would like to invite people to work with you, where we can find you, you said you work online. So you just open up a space for you to share how people can work with you. And I'm going to link everything in the description, all your links, Czech and English.
Thank you so much. Yeah, that would be definitely through the Instagram, the English one or the Czech one, or like a Facebook page. I will send you the links. I have a Linktree account, so people can book even like the consultation for free if they are having like more questions, if the spinal energetics is suitable for them, and or on email address. But I'm always like, if anyone is messaging me, I always try to answer through the social media so people can find me there.
I also seen, Nell, that you are doing workshops with more people. Can you touch up real fast on that, like how that works? How can you do spinal energetics in a group of people?
Yeah, I offer group sessions which is like sometimes more suitable for the people because it's more affordable than one-to-one session. So the people are prefer it sometimes even more. But the thing is, it's not like that personal approach as one-to-one, because in one-to-one we go really like in personal space and we talk before, after. In a group session, there is just a space where we connect all of us in like a same field. Let's say we share the energetic field, and sometimes it can be even more powerful for people because the energy, the burst of energy can help push even more things through. And yeah, this is like I offer every month group sessions, so anyone can always join. And it's nice to experience session for yourself on your own, and then within the group field where you don't have to feel alone and you go through with like a more people.
How do you do? I know now I'm being very curious because how do you do that? For example, you said you feel each part of the body in the person, but when it's a lot of people, how do you in tune with everybody?
Well, we are having like a Zoom on the Zoom. We are on the Zoom, all of us, and everyone needs to have camera on. For example, online, yeah, we're talking about the online group session. And I do maximum like a 6, 7 people. So I make sure I have a time for everyone to spend time with. And it's completely same for me as online with one person. So I basically open up the field and I work just with one person. I do the energetic job and then I move into another one and I go like that. And then I'm waiting. We are sharing the field and I'm looking, observing every single person, what is going on, changing the music. And because I do maximum 6, 7 people, I always know that I have capacity and, the ability to check that everything is going as it should.
How interesting. Definitely gonna try one. Could you we know the spinal energetic and any type of energetic work is very important, especially when you have a practitioner. But if people cannot afford it right now at this moment, do you have any tricks or somatic practices that you do that can help people to connect to themselves and regulate their nervous system? If you can share some tips what people can do.
Yeah, definitely. So I have a free guide on my Linktree where you can find a link to, where I offer like a brief instructions, like what to do, how to breathe when you are like, nervous or stressed. So there is some tools that can help you to get through. And also on my social media, I sometimes post like a reels where I'm advising people what to do, how to connect with yourself with these little basic steps and awareness, like a daily practices as a breathing, breath work, how to breathe, and also I'm posting a lot to my stories. I'm sharing the knowledge and know-how that I know, how to bring yourself like a better mood, or like I'm trying to connect with different kind of inspiration accounts, what to do. I'm sharing lots of stuff over there, so I would definitely advise people to check those links and social media.
Great. So make sure everybody who is watching this podcast that you're going to follow Nell on her social media to get insights and practices that will help you to move forward with your day and your life. Nell, this was a fantastic chat. Thank you so much for coming here. It was fun. I've learned so much about spinal energetics and I can't wait to try it. So my skepticism is out of the window now and I'm very open. And I hope everybody who watched this is open too. So thank you so much for coming to this and sharing your wisdom and explaining what is spinal energetics.
Thank you so much, Laura. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you.